Ayo fam, oh what it do, oh what's up, can I, what's poppin', it's your girl Crystal aka Curly Chris, and in today's video, I got some tips for y'all hair, okay, because I know y'all hair be dry and everything, especially in the winter, so I'm coming on here with some tips on how you can take care of your hair, specifically during the winter, okay? If you have not subscribed and joined the family, that's an issue, but I'm gonna go ahead and give you the opportunity to smash the button down below, okay? Smash the button down below. Smash it, please, okay? Go ahead and join the Curly Chris family. We are a family on this channel because I support y'all by giving y'all these tips, this advice, these tricks, and you guys support me by subscribing, commenting, liking, interacting with your girl, okay? So I really do appreciate you for doing that. Go ahead and smash that button down below if you have not already joined the fam. And if you did smash it, welcome. So let's go ahead and get straight into today's video. Whoa. Going to be all about how to take care of your hair in the winter, because sis, our hair is so dry in the winters, and on top of that, the cold air coming into contact with our hair constantly, we have to take extra steps, extra precautions to make sure that our hair stays intact and healthy, okay? So in today's video, I'm sharing with you guys my tips on what I think and what has helped me during the winter months to keep my hair healthy. So I went ahead and wrote all my little tips down. Ooh. Wow, my pen said. So I went ahead and wrote all my tips down. Don't try to peek. Don't try it. So this is what I'm going to be reading off of on how to protect your hair in the winter, because I didn't want to forget anything for this video. So let's go ahead and jump right into these tips. If you're wondering about my hair, this is the twist and curl that I did in my previous video. And this is like day 4 or something like that. So yeah. So let's go ahead and jump right into these tips. So tip number 1, the most important one, I decided to start with the most important first, and that is to deep condition your hair with heat. So I know sometimes whenever I mention deep conditioning, I say you can leave it like, leave it a plastic cap and let that sit in your hair for longer than 30 minutes, like maybe an hour or 2 hours, something like that. But in the winter, guys, you really want to add heat to your deep conditioners. And the reason for that is the heat allows that product to seep into your strands and thoroughly penetrate your hair. I prefer to deep condition year round with heat. If I cannot, then I go ahead and put like a cap on it and let it sit for an extended period of time. But in the winter, I most definitely make sure that I use heat with my deep conditioners, because that additional heat, especially for our low porosity girls, it allows that moisture to seep into our strands. So like especially low porosity chicks, because with low porosity, that basically means that our hair has a trouble or an issue with accepting product, which means that it takes our hair longer to dry. So by applying that heat, it really allows that product to penetrate and seep into those strands, opens up those cuticles, allows it to accept that moisture in, and then in turn it helps strengthen your hair, okay? High porosity, your hair usually accepts product quickly, which means your hair dries quickly. So whenever you put a deep conditioner, you still want to apply heat to your hair, but your hair doesn't necessarily have an issue with like accepting water quickly, which water is moisture. Okay, so the next step that I have, step 2, which is to shampoo less, period. If you co-wash more than shampooing. So in my shampoo video, I even spoke on this a little bit, and in the winter I co-wash, shampoo, co-wash. That's the 4 weeks in that month. Co-wash, shampoo, co-wash. In the summer, I co-wash, shampoo, co-wash, shampoo. I do not shampoo as often in the winter because I do not want to keep on stripping my hair of those natural oils. Because for one, my hair is not that dirty in the winter because I'm not sweating or anything. And for two, whenever I want to leave some of those oils in my hair so that they can continue to nourish my hair. There's no reason that I want to keep on stripping my hair of all of its natural oils. I still want to keep some of those oils in my hair, which means I co-wash more often and shampoo less. So another thing would be, instead of just like trying to co-wash more and shampoo less, you can just shampoo less. Meaning, instead of shampooing or washing your hair in some kind of way weekly, go to bi-weekly. So co-washing bi-weekly. Or if you feel like you need a shampoo, shampoo bi-weekly, okay? If you have an issue with dandruff and stuff like that, I would say lean more towards the products that are made for dandruff. As I Am has a great blue line that it's for itchy and dry scalp, which helps combat dandruff. So if you use it consistently, then that will help your hair. There's a co-wash and a shampoo in that line. If you have not tried it, go ahead and do that, okay? Try those shampoos and co-wash if you have that dry, itchy scalp. All right, so my third tip would be to make satin your best friend, guys. Like, anything that's touching your hair, you're gonna want it to have some satin on it, because that's friction, okay, tension. Make sure you have satin. This right here is satin line. Like, not playing any games. This has satin in the inside. This came from Two Natural Girls, a small black owned business. Make sure to support. I'll leave her name in the comment in the description box below. This is satin. So I love this one because it's a headband that I wear to work. I just wanted to get my hair out of my face basically, but I didn't want to just use like a regular scrunchie or whatever. I wanted to make sure that it has satin on my hair, so I put this on. I also make sure that if I'm wearing a bonnet, it's satin line. If I have a scrunchie, it's a satin scrunchie. You want satin to be your best friend, especially in the winter, because that's going to protect your hair, protect your ends. When you go to bed, satin. When you step outside, satin. It's so important, guys. Like, I even have these Grace Elaye. I'm not sure you ever heard of her, but these are beanies with satin in the inside. These are my go-tos. I love it. You guys have seen me wear this one all the time. I love them. I ordered some more for Black Friday. They even have the slaps. These slaps that are not the beanie material, but you still put these on your hair. So if you have wet hair, if you just don't want to be bothered with your hair that day, don't go out with just, you know, like, if you have twists in your hair or something like that, or you don't want to go out with wet hair basically, get you a nice slab, a nice beanie, put that on your hair, and so your hair is still protected with that satin, okay? So my tip 4 will be to do more protective styling, because more protective styling means less manipulation, which means less shedding, okay? If you have an issue with shedding in general, then that means you want to do less manipulation styles. In the winter, you want to lean towards protective styling, because that in turn protects your ends, protects your hair. It's less manipulation, so that way you have a less chance of breakage, all those good things. Some great protective styles are mini twists, twists in general, wigs, weaves. All those are low manipulation, aka protective styles. Protective styling is any style that tucks your ends, protects your ends. Not so much tucking, but just protecting your ends and not allowing you to touch your hair a lot, okay? So even if you do like the little 2 twists or 2 braids to the back, tucking your ends, that's a protective style, okay? Now, whenever I do like twists, like if I'm doing a twist out and I'm doing like a mini twist protective style, or just leaving my regular twist in for an extended period of time, in the winter, I prefer to put my slap on, which is this one. These two, I prefer to put one of these on my head that has that satin in the inside, because that way my hair is still protected whenever I'm going outside, okay? Especially if my twists are wet. Guys, you don't want to go outside with with wet hair, okay? You want to put that on your hair, or some type of protection on your hair, whether it's a hat or something like that, so you're not going outside with wet hair in the winter. So I most definitely suggest getting you a slap. They're called slaps. So I suggest you get one of those, because they're super cute and they're satin lined. So I love that. So if you are protective styling, you do not want to forget about your hair, okay? Which leads me into tip number 5, which is to keep your hair moisturized, sis. Keep it moisturized. If you're protective styling, meaning like say you have a weave or a wig. If you have a wig, you want to still be daily moisturizing your hair, or just feeling it, and whenever you feel like it needs moisture, add it to your hair. Add some cream, some butter, seal it with an oil. You still want to daily, or you still want to moisturize your hair. If you have a weave, like a sew-in or something, you can still get an applicator and get some product onto that scalp, or even to steep into your hair to keep it moisturized. So you want to most definitely work on keeping your moisture in your hair. Daily moisturizing is something that I do not do. However, if my hair does need a little oomph of moisture, I like to go in with the As I Am JBC oil water, because this is water and oil mixed together. So that way the water moisturizes it and reactivates those products, and the oil seals it into my hair. So this is a great way to get some moisture in your hair. One step, nice and quick, if you do feel like you need some extra moisture in your hair, on your scalp, or something like that. So keep your hair moisturized. That is so important, sis, especially in the winter. So I wanted to just demonstrate quickly on the importance of sealing your hair with an oil, because I feel like some people don't like to use oils because it weighs their hair down, which is fine. I suggest using a lighter oil. Almond oil, grapeseed oil are very, very light oils. Avocado oil. If you have thicker hair, JBC oil, olive oil, which is my favorite. I like to lean towards those because those right there really do seal in my hair. So I have some weave here. I just wanted to quickly demonstrate what sealing does. Figuratively, okay? I'm not saying this is what it does, this is what's gonna happen. I'm saying figuratively, this is what happens. I'm gonna go on this side. So this right here is our hair, okay? This is your hair. Say this is the wind outside, okay? So if you don't have an oil, if you don't seal with an oil, this is the wind. The wind is going to have access to that hair, okay? Like, this is water, I know, yes, but imagine that it's wind. The wind's going to have access, easy access to your hair, and do whatever damage it wants. And whenever you put an oil on, the oil basically acts as a bag, okay, or as a protector for your hair. So now you have an oil on your hair. This is your oil on your hair. And look at this. See how it's not touching your hair? That's how oil protects your hair, and it seals your hair. That's what it means by sealing. Not allow that bad winter weather to get to your hair. That's why it's so important to put in oil whenever you're finished styling, because especially in the winter, most importantly in the winter, because that cold air does not have as much access to your strands, okay? All right, so step 6. If your hair feels dry, sis, tend to it, okay? Tend to your hair. Don't skip it. If it feels dry, but you have 3 more days supposedly to get out of this style before your next wash day, and you're like, oh, well, I have 3 more days. Why? I can't moisturize now. I have 3 more days. Yes, you can moisturize now. Your hair is telling you what it needs right now. Listen to it. If your hair is dry, get you some daily moisturizer, something. Put some of this, put some water, some butter, some cream, seal that right back up with an oil. Our hair needs it. You do not want to ignore your hair if it says that it's dry. If you do, you will more than likely get split ends, single strand knots. Your ends will feel dry. If your ends are dry, that's going to split up your hair shaft, and then your entire hair is going to be split, which means split ends, and it's going to split up the hair shaft, so there's no growth going to happen at all, okay? So make sure that you are moisturizing your hair as needed. And when I say re-moisturizing, I don't mean re-shampooing. Shampooing is not going to moisturize, okay? Just adding some moisture to your hair. Sometimes we don't need to always shampoo or wash our hair, sis. Like, it's not needed. We just need to re-moisturize our hair. Like with this style, I'm just going to re-moisturize. Oh wait, I'm giving you on my next video, but we're gonna re-moisturize some hair, okay? Shampoo is not always necessary. All right, tip number 7 is kind of to do with tip number 6, which is to pay attention to your ends. If they're straggly, if they're dry, you want to re-moisturize. If they're straggly, you may want to snip, okay? Listen to what your hair is saying. And basically you don't want breakage, okay? Our hair is more fragile in the winter, so it's more susceptible to snipping, to breakage. So you most definitely want to prevent that in any way possible. Snip your hair if you feel like it needs to be trimmed. Re-moisturize your ends if your hair is telling you that it needs to be moisturized. Period, sis. Period. All right, tip number 8, prevent high tension styles. Styles that be having your hair like this, yeah, prevent those, okay? Sis, especially in the winter, because your hair gets drier quicker in the winter. So if you constantly got styles that's like this in your hair, then that means that that breakage, that breakage is coming. And it's now it has more easy access to break, because in the winter our hair is already getting like so dry quickly. Dry hair breaks off, okay? So prevent high tension styles. Some like, and that kind of goes in whenever someone's giving you like braids or twists or a weave. People start to get that high tension around them edges or just anywhere in your hair, and breakage is going to result in breakage. Do not do high tension styles. Do not allow someone to do high tension styles on you, okay? If you feel like someone is pulling your hair too tight, excuse me, I'm trying to keep my edges, sis. What are you doing? Look, this is your hair. Tell them, okay? Do not let nobody fool you or make you walk around with no edges. Alright, so tip number 9, do not neglect your protein or protein treatments, especially low porosity, but most definitely any hair type. It says in the winter, our hair needs the protein deep conditioners. Like, I mentioned some of those in my in my winter deep conditioners video, but protein deep conditioners are super important because that strengthens your hair. Protein is equal to strength. So you want to be incorporating these more often into your routines, okay? Now, protein treatments, like Afro-G, that's a protein treatment. I don't do too much DIY things. I have in the past, but if you are a DIY person, I've heard that egg is a great protein addition. I don't highly suggest doing DIYs. There's so many good ones on the market, but if you feel like one of them has helped your hair in the past, I most definitely suggest incorporating those into your hair routine more often. Protein is equal to strength, and we need our hair to be strengthened in the winter, okay? All right, tip number 10, more twist outs, more braid outs, less wash and goes. Less wash and goes. Let me tell you my #1 reason why I say less wash and goes. Because most of the time when you do a wash and go, you leave your house with your hair being wet, because it has not dried yet. And when you go out in that winter in that cold with wet hair, it doesn't help your hair with moisture. It does not help your hair with strengthening. It doesn't. That cold air is attacking your hair at this point. And also whenever your hair is wet, it sucks up more with outside because your strands are still open. So when you're walking outside, all that's in the air, your hair is soaking it right on up, and that's why people always say that their hair is more dry. It's so dry whenever I do wash and goes. Well, that's one of the main reasons why I highly suggest do not do wash and goes in the winter, or do them less, because your hair most definitely will feel dry. I always do twist outs and braid outs because with those styles, if my hair is still wet, I can just slap on one of these before walking outside. And also that cream that I'm applying within my hair and sealing with an oil, that right there helps to protect my hair. Like the example I gave with the bag. So that most definitely helps to protect and block all that bad stuff and that cold air from getting into my hair in the winter, okay? So my tip number 11 was to make sure that you're using an oil to seal your hair, which is the example that I gave with the bag. So I feel like you guys most definitely understand that now. So whenever I do any style, sis, I most definitely incorporate that oil to seal, because it is so important, y'all. Like, seal your hair with oil, okay? Like, I know some people really do not like oil on their hair. Use a lighter oil, okay? You most definitely want to seal in some kind of way. You want to moisturize your hair as necessary during the winter. My tip number 12, I basically already touched on this one as well, was to not go outside with wet hair. Don't do it. You're opening your hair up to breakage, to brittle, to your hair being fragile. You want to go outside when your hair is dry, and if it is not dry, you want to put something on your hair to where it is not being exposed to the winter, okay? So that once again comes back to these bad boys, even a hat. And if you don't have a satin line beanie, you can just put you like your satin tie on your hair, like your hair tie, and then put a hat on top, put a regular beanie on top. You just want to make sure that your hair has some satin that is being attached to, okay? Make sure that all your hard work does not go to waste, sis. You did a whole twist out, or mini twist. You did all mini twists, all 40 of these twists, and you walk outside with wet hair. Sis, don't do it to yourself. You just let all that hard work go right to waste, okay? Make sure you are taking the proper steps to take care of your hair, sis, especially in the winter, because this is when we have to be on guard, on lookout for our hair. Your hair is the winter is the time of the year that we see so much breakage, you see so much brittleness. If you take the right precautions, this won't happen to your hair. Make sure you are snipping your hair when needed. Make sure you are re-moisturizing. Make sure you are paying attention to what your hair is telling you. And that's kind of all the tips that Sis got for you today. That's all I got. That's it, okay? So thank you guys so much for watching today's video. Let me know in the comment section down below if this video really did help you. I know that focusing on these tips has helped me a lot. So thank you so much for watching today's video. I really hope you did enjoy it. I hope these tips have helped you. Go ahead and subscribe to your girl's channel if you have not already. I appreciate y'all, I always do. And I'm gonna see y'all in my next video, cause I gotta go to work. Work. Pray for me, cause I'm gonna need it.